I'm hanging out here tonight at the TA truck stop in Ash Fork, Arizona, and if you've watched my videos before, you know I pull campers across the country, going all over the place, and put a bunch of miles on truck. And I wanted to give a review video on the Veritas Vans Starlink Mini mount, because when I decided I was going to get a Starlink Mini and was looking for a mount, I didn't want something that was going to blow off going down the highway. So I put a lot of time and research into which mount was going to be the best. And if you've typed in Starlink Mini mount, you know you get flooded with all kinds of different things, but there's a ton of Veritas Vans accessories to go with the Starlink Mini. And I know a lot of people said just put it in a sunroof and push it up against the glass and pull the cover across. Well, my sunroof's open like 90% of the time if it's not raining, so that kind of killed that. But this thing, you have to have two hands to pop it loose. I would pop it loose and show you, but I have an unboxing and install video that's coming up after I get finished talking about this. So if you're interested in that, stick around. I've got about 6,000 miles with that mount up there out in Arizona. Speed limit 75 miles an hour. You get in windstorms and rain and all that stuff, and it has just hung in there. I mean, it doesn't move. You can take and push on it, and I'm a big boy and I can't push it around. So if you're thinking about a Starlink Mini, if you're thinking about the Veritas Vans mount, the links are in the description. If you do the Starlink Mini, you'll get a free month. I'll get a free month if you use my link, so consider that if you're on the fence about it. But anyway, let's get on to why I felt like I needed to spend the money and buy the Starlink. So about 2 months ago, my phone service was horrible, and I'd been considering getting off an old grandfathered in phone plan that I had, and I got off. I went ahead and let them change it. The phone bill went from $230 a month down to like $89 a month, and that's what I've been paying just so I had that unthrottled, unlimited grandfathered in plan that worked great for years. I'd had it forever, and now I have the ultimate, the unlimited ultimate through Verizon, and it is not near as good as the plan I had before. Everybody promised me it was going to be so much better. I'm going to have a 5G phone on a 5G plan, and it's not even been a competition. You know, the old plan, the way that I was set up, was worth the money to pay that extra money for it. But I've changed now and I can't go back, so I'm not going to whine about it. It just, figure out other options. So I was talking to Steven, and I was talking to some other people that run the Starlink, and they kept telling me how great it was. Well, dropping my phone bill, when I dropped it, I could add the Starlink and still be half price of what I was paying for my old phone plan. And I tell you, when you add the Starlink after I downgraded my plan, that seems to be like that's going to be worth the money, because the Starlink has been pretty much flawless, except one time I was in a bad lightning storm and it would lose service and catch up every now and again in the bad lightning storm. But as soon as the lightning started fading away, the service was flawless again. Now I do have the 100 gigabyte roam plan, and on the 100 gigabyte roam plan, I've just primarily been using it for phone calls. I will use it on that first month. I kind of tried to max it out and see what I could do with it, because you have the app and you can go in and look, see how much usage you've used throughout the month. And the closer I got to the end of the month, the more stuff I started doing with it, trying to run it over that 100 gigs, and I did. I mean, I got like 108 or something like that, but I didn't get charged any overage. Personally, me, on that bill, I was worried I would get charged overage, but I didn't, because who reads the fine print, right? They can say one thing and then do something different. But the main thing I like about the Starlink over keeping the old plan that I had is out here in New Mexico, Arizona, California, especially like Highway 166 that runs you across to Arroyo Grande, California. I have no service out there. And the first thing I noticed when I put the Starlink on, that was my next trip. I had a Belmont, Arizona, then I had a Arroyo Grande, California, and I talked all the way to Arroyo Grande. Never lost service on the way out, never lost service on the way back. And that long stretch of two-lane road, I've always wondered what's going to happen if you break down out here. You had no service. I mean, what do you do at that point? But I didn't stress about it a whole lot. You was only out there for a couple of hours, and I never had any trouble, so I didn't stress about it. But just the peace of mind of knowing if I'm on that highway or another highway that's similar, that I'll have phone service now as long as I got a clear view of the sky, that's worth, it's like added insurance. It's worth it to me to have the Starlink, just for that little bit of added extra insurance. I mean, do we have to have it? No. When I started trucking, I didn't even have a cell phone. Cell phones hadn't even come out yet. But as technology has progressed, it has made trucking easier in a lot of aspects, and it's really screwed it up in others, but you know, it's neither here nor there. But me having access to the internet has really helped me out. And the Starlink, like I say, when I'm at home, I don't even have it plugged in. When I'm, you know, when I'm east of Oklahoma City, unless I'm in a very rural area, I don't even plug it in. Now, if I get off the interstates and I start running back roads, I might plug it in. But if I'm places that I know I always have service, like Indiana up near Middlebury and up from Middlebury to my house, I don't plug it in because I know I got good phone service anyway. Now, if something happens and I drop the call and I can't get service, I go ahead and plug it in and use it there. So I'm not using it all the time. Like Stephen Horner with Horner's Corner, he uses his. He's got the unlimited, and he runs everything in his truck off of it all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking that at all. But I just don't feel like I need it like that. I have no complaints. I called everyone that I knew that had even been, you know, talked about getting a Starlink for, and asked them before I spent the money on it. And everybody unanimously loved it, and so far I'm on the bandwagon. Now the Veritas Vans mount, if I needed another mount tonight, or if I had to recommend one to somebody I cared about that didn't want to see them waste no money, I would recommend the Veritas Vans mount in a heartbeat. Because, like I said, I got nearly 6,000 miles on that thing being up there, and you can't. I go through the Mr. Car Wash, and I go ahead and take it down when I go through the Mr. Car Wash, and it takes both hands. I have to get out and use both hands to pry that thing off the roof, and that way it gets the dirt that gets trapped underneath it, and it gives me a chance to inspect it and wipe it down and all that before I put it back up when I come out the other side of the car wash. So definitely, when I first got it, I was worried. I was checking it all the time. Oh my gosh, is it there? Is it there? I don't even think about it now. It ain't going nowhere. If it goes anywhere, it's because somebody pulled it off. It's not because it blew off. I hope if you're on the fence about getting Starlink, or if you've got a Starlink Mini and you're wondering what kind of mount to get, this is my honest review and opinion. This is not a sponsored video. However, if Veritas Vans does see this video and wants to send me some of their accessories, they've got a lot of cool stuff, and I'm sold on their products after getting this. So I don't really enjoy doing review videos unless it's a company that I enjoy. I really can feel like I can stand behind their products, and I'll put my name all over that thing all day long. So anyway, on to the unboxing video. This is what comes in the Veritas Vans Starlink. Get it opened up, and what we got? Another box. So Veritas Vans. So here's the car, the 10-foot cigarette lighter plug, 12-volt outlet plug, whatever we want to call it nowadays. Here's the magnets. I'm going to set this up here, and then here are the instructions, which I'm hoping they're pretty well self-explanatory. I'm going to throw that up on the dash for later. And here's the Allen wrench. Pretty cool that they include the Allen wrench. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these screws out. You see the screws going around the front, or around the bottom here. Go ahead and get all these Allen screws out, and then we'll set the Starlink in, and I'll let you know my opinion of how it fits. It is a good, solid, tight fit. This is a Starlink Mini. I've had it for a couple of days. I have been using it, and I have put some scratches on it, but from putting it in out of the sunroof like that. Now, I love my sunroof, opening and closing it, so just leaving it up there is not really an option for me. There it is all together. Now we're going to thread these magnetic feet in right like so. make sure and check there's a protective cover over here to make sure it doesn't poke into anything in shipping, and then it just threads right on. Yep. Now there's 3 more. I'll get those screwed on, taking the little plastic protective covers off. Well, 2 of them had it, 2 of them didn't. I'll go ahead and get these screwed on, and wow. There's 4 of those on. Now, just to see, let's stick it to the side of the truck. And just reference for size of how big this thing is, once again, because when everybody says Starlink Mini, I'm thinking about half the size of what it is, but it was bigger than what I thought it was going to be. But, you know, I saw a guy on one of the videos. He stuck this to the side of his truck and pushed down and carried his whole weight. I don't think it would do that on my truck, and if it did, I'd be worried I would pull the skin off of it. But anyway, throw it up there and get a plug in it. I will say, versus the side of the truck, putting it on top of the truck, holy crap, that thing, it not only is it stuck, but there's no real good way to get a handle on it. Now, from what I understand, they have a handle that you can put on this, but I was gonna pop it up and move it over because it's not exactly centered because of these ribs. I saw someone say stick it on the ribs. I'm not gonna do that. I want it in a good, you know, flat. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there, and I think for the time being, I'm just gonna run my power cord right across through here. At a later time, I may run it out the 3rd brake light like I have that, but for the time being, we're just gonna leave it right there. I've seen in all their videos that they talk about their power cords being really thick and robust, and this one is. It's every bit as thick as the one that came out of the came with the Starlink kit. So I'm gonna go ahead and unroll this and get it set up, and I will come back and show you what it looks like. The cord, I would have liked it a little better if it was ran out of the back, but I got it this way because of where it's going to the door, and it'll run right in that crack down and loop around and go in. I don't think that'll hurt anything. So I pulled the wire down as snug as I could right here. Like I said, this is not permanent. If this thing doesn't fly off between now and Indiana and Flagstaff, Arizona, then I will make it more permanent whenever I do get it, home. So it runs down, runs inside the door down here, comes across. I do have a mattress in the back of the truck because of long trips, you might get sleepy. So I've got it plugged in right there. That way it powers off when the truck powers off, powers on when the truck powers on. Well, there it is, all installed. Like I say, I'll make that a little prettier if it hangs on until I'm going to Flagstaff and then back to Alabama, or Tennessee, on the Alabama-Tennessee state line. And if it hangs on that far, I'll try to make it a little prettier. Guess I'm ready to get on the road. So I actually bought the Starlink on April the 8th. Then I ordered the Veritas Vans mount. It came in like 2 days later. So right around April 10th, and it is now June 14th, 2026, and it's been up there the whole time. Like I say, anymore, I just forget about it. I don't even think about it being up there. But like, I'm not trying to sell anything. Do I feel like you have to have a Starlink? Not knowing your situation, I'm probably going to say you don't have to have it. The Veritas Vans mount, are there better mounts? If there are, I don't know what they are. At first I was thinking I really wanted a permanent mount, but now that I've got this, I love that I can snatch it off this truck, put it on another truck. And if it was a permanent mount and the truck is down, or if it's left sitting or whatever, the Starlink is sitting out there. And another thing that I did do is, this is a black truck. It attracts a lot of heat. It gets really hot out here in the summertime, and I don't have it's nighttime now, so it's not going to be the same, or I would show you right here in this video. But I took one of the thermal heat guns and shot the top of the truck, and it was like the actual Starlink, the Veritas Vans cover, with it being the white cover, was like 25 degrees cooler. So I didn't like the white cover at first because I felt like it kind of stood out really hardcore, stood out on the black truck. But I get it. I understand why they did it that way. It helps keep the unit cool. And I've talked to some other people that run it on the inside of the truck, like suction cup to the windshield, suction cup to sunroof, and they talk about theirs gets hot. You know, sometimes it gets really hot, and they wonder if it's not hurting it's not affecting the performance of the Starlink. And I've never had any issues like that. I mean, I don't feel like that one gets hot at all, unless, like, I could see where it would if I was sitting in a 100-degree parking lot all day. I could just set it, but going down the road, I don't see how it could. So anyway, I hope you guys got something out of this. If you're thinking about the Starlink, I hope this was helpful in deciding yes I need it or no I don't, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.